So, here we are again, up for another wild camp. So, I can safely say that this is now not my first wild camp solo on Dartmoor. It's my second, if that means anything. So, I've started off in the same route to begin with. Again, I started on the Granite way, came up through, and I'm just got onto Dartmoor now. I just have Meldon Dam in the distance. Weather not so nice today. Should be dry. The weather forecast gives it overcast, but pretty low chance of rain. Still a little bit windy, but hopefully not as bad as last time. I wanted to start out in the same place just to give myself a bit of familiarity. Half of the problem with my last camp was I bit off a bit more than I could chew. I didn't really know where I was going. So this time at least, the beginning part of the hike, I know where I'm going and I know roughly how long it's going to take me. So I'm going to carry on up to Meldon. But then instead of following the West Okement river like I did last time, I'm going to head over that river, go up towards Shelstone Tor, Branscombes, Loaf and Sourton Tor. Haven't decided which one I'm going to camp on yet. I'm going to kind of play it by ear, see what time I get there. I know echoes of last time, but I'm much more confident about getting to those in reasonable time. So I'm going to head on up to Meldon, up to the dam, and I'll catch up with you in a bit. Because it was a lot higher than it was then, so I've ended up cutting it up and we're now following the trail up the side of the hill. The only downside is we've got the hill now, but it's alright. It's not the worst hill ever, and I think I prefer walking up a hill to climbing an ungodly number of steps. So I've stopped in the same place as I did last time. It's like a bit of a reunion tour going on here. The lake's a lot higher, so it's 2 weeks since I've been here last, and if you saw the first video, I mean I might put a comparison on screen, I don't know how well you can see it from here, but the lake, you know, the actual reservoir itself is almost full, kind of right up to where the baffles or whatever they're called on the dam are. Yeah, it's definitely a lot wetter. A lot more people out today, loads of people in comparison. The weather is on the turn a bit, as you can see it's quite grey. There's a little bit of rain in the air at the moment. The weather forecast said there was 10% chance of rain, so I guess I'm just unlucky, but it might not be much, but we'll see. So we haven't got the sun this time, but at least I won't get sunburnt, hopefully, this time round. I've got a new bit of kit. Got myself a jet boil, because why not? All the cool kids seem to have jet boils. I got a little bit frustrated with my stove in the wind last time, so I figured get myself something a bit more windproof. And as luck would have it, it's windy again today, so good chance to test this one. Anyway, I'm just camping out here for 10-15 minutes, have a coffee, and then I'll crack on. So the rain has packed up, which is good. It wasn't particularly heavy. There's a lot of passed quite a few people who didn't look at the forecast or didn't think it was going to rain. They looked a bit wet, but still a bit of wind. But at least for now, the rain has eased off, which is nice. I'm just coming up to the end of the lake, and I'm going to stop for lunch. At the end of this, last time I followed the West Okement River up to the base of High Wheelhaze, but this time I'm going to be crossing over the river and then heading up towards Shelstone Tor, Branscombes, Loaf, etc. So at that point where the bridge is, feels like a good place to stop. So I'm going to have some food, have a drink. I need to restock my water, and yeah, we'll take it from there. This is where my path is branching off from where I went on my last camp a couple of weeks ago. So when I came up before, I went up that hill, but instead I'm going to go over this bridge over here and then up there. And I think Shelstone Tor is over the top of that hill. I found a nice little spot to sit and have my lunch. There's still a little bit of rain, not much, and it might just be dripping down from the tree, who knows. The sun's coming out, it's looking quite nice actually. Yep, stopped here. I'm having one of these adventure food jobbies. I've got minced beef Hotpot. I'm just waiting for that to sort itself out. The packet says 10 minutes, so I'm just sitting here enjoying the view. Still pretty busy. There's quite a lot of people around today, which is quite a stark contrast to 2 weeks ago. It was dead. I saw a few people around this area, but nowhere near as many. But I guess it's moving on in the year, people wanting to be outside more, so it's only to be expected. Right, so yeah, I'm going to carry on eating. Okay, so I found a nice little spot here to have my lunch. The bridge is just over there. I'm camped out under a little tree. The rain's pretty much gone now, which is good. The sun's coming out as well, which is even better. Still a little bit of wind, but all in all, it's not too bad. It seems like it's brightening up quite nicely. I brought 3 meals with me for this camp. In my last video I tried out the spaghetti bolognese from Expedition Foods, which I really liked, so that I knew I would have at least one meal that I enjoyed, I've bought another one of those. That's what I'm going to have for my tea tonight. But for lunch I've got one of these adventure food jobbies. This is the minced beef Hotpot. I've seen a couple of people rave about the pasta carbonara. I have bought that as well, but that's still at home. I figured that I've got the spaghetti bolognese, so I didn't want to go too pasta heavy, so I'll have that one next time. So I'm just going to eat my food now, and once that's done I'm going to restock my water and then head out over the bridge, up over the hill to Shelstone Tor. I think I found Shelstone Tor. I'm 99% sure it's this guy up here, which is cool. It feels nice to predict that I'm going to get somewhere early and actually get there early. So I'm going to walk up there. Still too early to camp. Absolutely too early. It's about 3:30 at the minute. Now up that way, I think that's Sourton Tor, or it might be a bit further up over the top, I think, Sourton Tor, but it's in that direction, and Branscombes Loaf is up there somewhere as well. I said to myself I was going to camp on Shelstone, so I'm going to go and have a look, and then I might follow the ridge up round instead of walking straight up there and disturbing the horses. Are they horses or are they cows? I can't tell. There's definitely some horses there. I think they might be. Who knows? disturbing, whatever it is that's over there. So yeah, I'm going to wander over to Shelstone Tor, have a look around. Nice view from up here, because you've got over here, you've got the Devon kind of countryside, and then it just transitions into Dartmoor, and then when you get over here, proper Dartmoor. I think that's High Wilhays up there. It's giving me cold sweats thinking about a couple of weeks ago. It's a long way up. I didn't realise how high it was. At least I think it is. I think that's High Wilhays. So here we are at Sourton Tor. Managed to get out of the wind. Wind's coming that way, so I've got this big old rock here to shelter me. Yeah, that trek up to Branscombes Loaf, that was pretty steep. A lot steeper than I thought it was going to be. But the plus point on that has meant that pretty much from there on to the end of the day, it's going to be fairly easy. A lot downhill. Up walking up Sourton Tor, that was nice little stroll really in comparison. It's quite a nice look, very scattered tour. Just the rocks are all over the place. They're covering quite a big area. There's a lot more over the other side, but that's where the wind is, so I'm just sitting out of it for the moment. So I've been on this health kick now for about a month, and I go to the gym in the week, and I do a lot of I'm mainly doing weight training in the gym, so I'm trying to eat more protein, as that's what you're supposed to do when you're trying to build muscle. So I bought myself some of these protein bars. So this is white chocolate and raspberry, and this is a protein brownie, and let me tell you guys, these taste they're terrible. They're absolutely awful. I mean, the warning signs were all there. When you have something which is healthy supposedly, and it's masquerading as something incredibly unhealthy like a chocolate brownie, then you should just know it's gonna be a disappointment. So I've got these. I haven't eaten one yet on this trip. Just kind of saving this for emergencies, I guess. But I also bought some energy gels because I figured I might find myself stuck out in Dartmoor, and with still a long way to trek and need a bit of a pick-me-up. So I bought these. They are torque gels, and these taste amazing. This is rhubarb and custard flavour, and they taste just like the sweet shop rhubarb and custard sweets. Just brings back memories of when I was a kid and I had my paper round, and I used to spend all my wages on the sweets from the newsagents. So these are amazing. So I'm having a little break here before heading down to Shelstone, so I thought give myself a little bit of a pick-me-up and have this whilst looking out over the Devon fields. So yeah, I'm going to enjoy this. Catch you in a bit. I don't know if it's because I'm down in a dip, but there's just no wind at the minute. It is still. Just let you listen. So nice. Part of me just wants to pitch my tent here. It's a bit slopey though. I only just noticed that I've been walking along for a couple of minutes and suddenly just thought, wow, it's gone so quiet. And all day I've had the wind blowing. It hasn't been too bad, but it's been the constant companion all day. It's been the wind, and now it's just all. There's a little bit coming back now. I'm almost at Shelstone Tor. It's over there. Got to walk past the cows. There's a couple of horses down there as well. So I made it. It's all worked out. It's all worked out nicely today. Haven't been short of time. Still, got a good amount of distance covered. Been to 3 tours. Yeah, so it's all looking good. Just gonna head over to Shelstone, find myself a nice little campsite, and start getting set up for the night. Okay, so that's the tent up. Oh, there we go. I did have to just reposition it slightly because I pitched it right next to that clump of reeds. That was no good, so I just shimmied it over. Quite a nice little spot. I did go around the whole tour and the wind's just coming from a bit of an awkward direction. I couldn't find somewhere completely out of the wind, but it's not too bad here. And tent looks all right. Pegged down nice and tight so it shouldn't go flying off anywhere. So yeah, I don't know what time it is. I left my watch at home, which has like my fitness tracking and everything built into it, so I don't know how far I've travelled today. I'll plot the route in to all trails when I get home. Give me a rough idea. I think it's probably around 15 kilometres in total. See, the clouds are starting to come in there. It's just coming up to 7:30. So I just wanted to talk about a couple of the kit upgrades that I've done following the lessons learned from the last wild camp. You've seen, I mentioned the jet boil already. You all know what jet boil is. I don't need to go into too much detail with that one. But the other two, first is my boots. So I was using some Adidas Terex, which are kind of hiking trainers stroke hiking boots, and they are really comfortable, but I think for anything beyond trails and roads, they're not cutting it. They're not waterproof, they're kind of water repellent, but on the last wild camp I spent quite a bit of time having to dodge bogs, and getting over rivers was a bit of a pain. So I thought, right, I'll keep them for trails and roads because they are really comfy. I've got to say, they are very comfortable, but they weren't holding out on the moors, so I got myself a pair of Scarpa boots. I don't know what I've forgotten the model, but they seem really good. I've stepped in a bunch of bogs today and my feet are still dry, so definitely happy with those. The other upgrade is my sleeping mat. So I'll show it to you later on when I've blown it up, but I just bought a real cheapo, like 20 quid job off of Amazon. It was really thin, it wasn't very good for what I need it for. If you're just going out on the odd summer camp, it'd probably be fine, but I wanted to get something with a good thermal value and something that's going to be hopefully comfortable. So here it is, the XPED, ULM. Yeah, so it's a bit shorter and a bit narrower than my cheapo Amazon job, but it's really nice and thick, and the coating on it is quite nice because it kind of grips the sleeping bag. Hopefully stop me sliding around too much. Got myself as well a Trackology, I think, pillow. and a little thing for inside. I got a little, I think it's an emoji light or something along those lines. So hopefully all of those little improvements mean that I get, you know, a reasonable night's sleep tonight. The wind isn't too bad, so I'm hoping that won't keep me up. Well, all that's left really now is I'm going to cook some food, and I guess just call it a night. Really, I've got an audio book with me, so I'm going to chill out and listen to that. It's a stark contrast, I have to say, from my last wild camp, which, you know, didn't go very well. And when I got to camp, all I really wanted to do was just get some form of food inside me and get into bed. Whereas this time, I've had plenty of time. I've been poodling around, doing some videos, just generally chilling out and watching the views. And yeah, it's nice. It's nice to have that time to just enjoy the environment and to enjoy the camp. So, with all that out of the way, I'm going to go and cook something. I've got the Expedition Foods spaghetti bolognese again because I really liked it and wanted to have at least one decent meal. The other two are experiments. I'm going to get on and cook that now. Morning. Slept pretty well. Reasonable anyway. Weather not so good today. There's a lot of rain. It died off for the moment, but yeah, it started at about 2 o'clock this morning, and it's been a reasonable amount since. It's about 6 o'clock at the minute, so I'm going to lie here for a little bit longer and then start getting my gear packed up. Right, so I've just got packed up. There's a bit of a dip in the rain at the moment. It looks like it's clearing up. The sky's looking a lot bluer than it was yesterday, but yeah, I've been caught in the rain a little bit, so hence waterproof's on. Everything's packed up. I was going to have breakfast up here, but because it's been so blowy and wet, I thought I'll head back down into the valley and maybe stop there for some breakfast, because yeah, I haven't even had a hot drink yet. I just wanted to, I mean, it's annoying really, because if I'd woken up half an hour later it would have been like this, which isn't too bad, but it's done now. I'm all packed up, so that's good. It's just gone 7 o'clock, so I'm going to head down into the valley and see about rustling myself up some breakfast. Okay, so just having my breakfast, the Adventure Food Expedition breakfast. It's pretty nice. It's kind of a mixture between porridge and muesli. It's got lots of hazelnuts, apple and raisins in it as well, so that's pretty nice. This one's probably in second place. The spaghetti bolognese that I had for tea last night, that was the nicest one. And the Hotpot came in third. Wasn't a big fan of that. It was mostly mashed potato, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, it was alright, you know, it filled a hole, but it wasn't that great, so I don't think I'll be getting that one again. So I'm at the top of the dam, just going to finish this off and then head back to the car. It's only a few miles, so I'm pretty much, I think I'm going to wrap this video up here. So thanks a lot for watching, I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video.